Hey, it's Elizabeth Schneider with Wine for Normal People, and this is your episode 589 podcast summary. This time, Monticello AVA of Virginia. Now, I know a lot of people say Monticello. It's Monticello, and part of that is because there's a ton of Italian heritage here. Thomas Jefferson set up the Monticello estate, and that's what the AVA is named after, since he was probably the most passionate American advocate for wine that we could possibly hope for. So in the podcast, I go over the history. I talk about how, it's the birthplace of American wine. 1609, we had people trying to grow grapes, and there were all sorts of edicts and things like that. Thomas Jefferson in the late 1770s, early 1800s, trying tirelessly to grow vines in Monticello on his estate. He utilized the help of an Italian, Filippo Massey. Couldn't ever work because European grapevines were eventually going to get attacked by phylloxera, but man, did he try. And he'd be so happy today because we fast forward, and in 1976, another Italian came, Gianni Zonin, from the Zonin family in Vicenza, Italy, in Veneto. They have a really big company there. They scouted all over and decided to set roots down in Virginia. Now, it was a little crazy because, frankly, there wasn't a whole lot of infrastructure in Virginia. Also, you have clay soils for the most part, which can be very difficult to work. They can make great wines. You just have to plant on the right places. You have to make sure the soils are well drained. You have to match the grape rootstock and the right type of grape to the soil, to the site. And this takes a lot of time to figure out. I still think a lot of people haven't figured that out. And that's why, as I say on the show, sometimes you can get undrinkable wine in Monticello. Climate is super challenging. It can be humid during the growing season, not great for grapes. You do get cool breezes because we are in the Blue Ridge Mountains, part of the Appalachian Range in central Virginia. So you are going to get some of that fresh mountain air coming in. The slopes will help drain out cold air when it gets frosty, which is really important because you have real harsh winters that can kill those grapevines. So you need to plant them up on slopes. And those slopes will also generally have better drained soils. The main grapes here for the reds, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, Petit Verdot, and my favorite is Nebbiolo. Nebbiolo from Barboursville is really awesome. Luca Pasquina, who is the winemaker and general manager there, is from Alba, the Piedmont region, and Nebbiolo is their native grape, and he thought it would do well there, and it did. It really does. Vermentino is also fantastic there. I talk about some of the whites as well. I mentioned Early Mountain, another one of my favorites, Petit Manseng, a grape from southwest France, which it's usually used in sweet wines, but it does really well as a dry wine in Monticello AVA. And Viognier is great. Albarino is coming on strong. Chardonnay is fantastic. Spend this really last part of the podcast talking about which wineries I think are the best. And Barboursville and Early Mountain, Pollock, and Gabriele Rouse are my favorites. I talk about my reasons why. I talk about some other wineries that you could go visit. I give you some travel tips, and then we wrap it up. Enjoy the show, and I will catch you next time.